I think the overwhelming feeling amongst the fans is one of sadness and frustration. I've already looked at my social media feed this morning and I see people arguing, people who've been friends for years. Eurovision has brought me personally a lot of joy over the years, and it's just really sad that this is actually dividing us now. The slogan is united by music, but unfortunately it's divided by politics. And I think it's just a feeling of sadness all round because there are no winners here, regardless of whether Israel's in or out. The whole thing feels a little bit toxic now. And I certainly felt that in Basel. The decision yesterday to include Israel in the competition and the fallout that that's generated with the withdrawal of several countries has sparked really a bit of a crisis moment for Eurovision in terms of where we go moving forward. I think the idea that Eurovision is non-political is, that myth has been really busted, really. Eurovision doesn't exist in a bubble, and it's affected by global events, as we've seen with the war in Ukraine, as well as with the situation in the Middle East. So I think moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, particularly with other countries if they do join the boycott. I think it is possible that other countries could follow suit and withdraw from the competition. I think the two to watch are possibly Belgium and Iceland. Iceland are having a meeting next week to discuss this. So, it's not going to be a shock if they do go. But I think overall, the numbers look fairly stable. We've got a couple of countries returning, Romania, Bulgaria, and Moldova. So they withdrew for financial reasons a couple of years ago. So I think overall it's looking fairly stable. But the question is whether those broadcasters that have withdrawn this year will return the following year. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch. Losing Spain from the competition is quite a significant deal for Eurovision because Spain is part of the so-called Big Five, along with the UK, France, Germany, and Italy. They contribute the most amount of money, which means that they have automatic entry into the grand final. And they also have one of the largest shares of the viewing audience as well. So losing Spain means there's a big chunk of the budget gone, but also a large audience share will be gone as well. So if another Big Five country withdrew, that would be quite serious. But with it just being Spain, I think the numbers are looking fairly stable. That said, there's a kind of emotional attachment to the contest in 2026. It's going to be the 70th year, and one of the founding members, the Netherlands, they took part in the very first competition. They're not going to be there, and Ireland, the reigning champion, along with Sweden with 7 victories, they're also not going to be there. So it's kind of bittersweet, really. It's great that the contest will go on, but it's sad that it's come to this. There is often a double standard when it comes to Eurovision. There's a lot of focus on Israel for obvious reasons. It's in the news a lot of the current situation, but there's also a lot of other countries that have such, shall we say, dubious human rights records. Azerbaijan being one, it's said to be a dictatorship, and they hosted Eurovision in 2012, and all the countries that have boycotted were all taking part in that competition. Similarly, when it was in Tel Aviv in 2019, all those countries took part. There were still situations with the Palestinians going on then. So what's changed? Obviously, the current situation is very, very different, but where do we draw the line? And that's the issue. And is Eurovision somehow some sort of moral compass? That's the territory we're verging into, and that's where it could become quite dangerous.